Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Today, we're going to take a look at streamlining the AR collection process within the SAP Business One system. We're going to cover topics like the Dunning Wizard. This is a core piece of SAP Business One, and a lot of customers aren't aware that of the power that it actually has. So we'll do a Dunning Wizard run. You can get a good look at how that can improve collections. We'll also look at adding a user-defined field and how that might aid in collections and the visibility of that on reports and those kinds of things. We'll look at a collection dashboard. So for those of you that do have the B1 usability package, we'll take a look and see how those capabilities, the dashboarding and the calendar capability, can be used to really help and improve the AR collection process. We'll also look at Saltbox automations. We'll take a quick peek at that. And if you're not familiar, automations, they're basically little bots that just run in the background and they perform repetitive manual tasks for you. So you don't tie up a user license or an individual's time. And then lastly, we'll close the loop by looking at the SXP Partner Portal and showing how customers can then pay their bills online. We want to make it really easy for the customers to pay their bills. All right, so let's go ahead and let's jump in. Let's start by going into the sales module. And in here, there's a process called Dunning Wizard. Now, there's a little bit of setup to Dunning. It's all fully documented. There's basically 10 levels. So if you think about the Dunning Wizard, it's going to grade your customers. Level 1 or level 0 is basically customers in good standing. And then the higher up those numbers you get, the worse standing the customer is. And it's up to you to determine what's the length of time that determines a level 1 from a level 2 from a level 3. So you do need to go through that setup. Probably takes a few minutes to set up. It's not that bad. But once it's set up, then you can run the Dunning Wizard. And we're going to run the Dunning Wizard now. So let's go ahead, and I've got in preparation, I did a run. Let's go ahead and let's rerun it. So I'm in April, and I want to process all of my collection letters. I want to automate my collection letters for anybody that owes me money. So here's the date, today's date. This is going to be the posting date on any documents created in Business One. This is going to pertain to all of my Dunning levels. Now, again, it could be I have separate collectors. Maybe internally, I deal with customers that are at Dunning levels 0 through 5. And then 6 through 10, maybe I sell off to a collections company or something like that. So this gives you some unique capabilities to focus in on certain levels of discrepancy with your customers. And then the Dunning terms. This is also kind of neat. You could have Dunning terms that can add interest rates. So over time, a customer can owe you more based on their uncollected amounts. Now, again, these are all covered in the setup. And then lastly, I am in a multi-company, multi-branch environment. And so I'm running this for all of my branches. All right, let's go to the next tab. Now, the next tab only shows customers that have a balance. And so that's what we're looking at here. And if I slide over, you can see the balance in both foreign currency and local currency. Let's go ahead and see if we can fit column width, get that all in one screen. There we go. Let's go to the next tab. Now, this one says, what are we going to include? Are we going to include things like journal entries? What about credit memos? What if we've got a customer, they don't owe us anything, but we've got a $2,000 credit? Do you want that to show up and print on a report? Probably not. So you don't allow negative Dunning letters, right? If we owe them money, we don't want to send them a collection letter. You can actually do that, and you could have certain letters designed for that. But in today's example, we're not going to do that. All right, we'll go to our next tab here. Let me go ahead and open this up. Now, what it's done is it's that quick. It's graded all of my customers. And you can see that Dunning letter level here. So this one here is a 2, whereas some of these are 1s. And I won't go through this whole list, but this will grade your customers. There's a 3. And so this tells me that, the higher the number, the more delinquent the payment. All right. So now that we've got our list, we've got our customers graded. What are we going to do with this? Well, I mean, there's a lot of things we can do. One of those is I can print, I can email this list out, I can fax it, I can export the list out to Excel, maybe shoot it off to somebody, create a PDF. But we're going to run this from within Business One. So let's keep going. We're going to do the collection ourselves. So let's go to the next tab. Now it says we've got everything graded. We know what your customers owe us. Now, how are we going to get that information to them? Are we going to generate emails? We're going to send a report, a separate report to each customer via email. Are we going to do a preview right here on the screen? Are we going to print them and snail mail them? What I'm going to do so we can see this to the screen here on the screen is let's save these as PDFs. And let's go ahead and finish. Here we go. Now on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, you can see it working and it's done. 22 letters created literally in about 2 seconds. And let's take a look at those. Let's jump out into my attachments tab here. And here's all my Dunning letters. Now let's bring one up. Let's take a look at one. Let's find some that's interesting. Let's look at this first one here. So this is a Dunning level 1. And this is the first late notice. And so you can see the text is really very pleasant. Our records indicate the following documents are past due. Here's the details and blah, blah, blah. Not a big deal. Now, if we, let's close PDF. If we come down here to one that's got a little more issue, let's bring this one up. This one is a second notice. Let's go ahead and click on that. You see the text is a little bit different now. Second notice, it's saying, hey, previously we sent you a notice of unpaid documents. Since we haven't heard from your payment, since we have not, received your payment, please send a remittance as soon as possible. And now it talks about charging and add-in late fees. As you get further down the list, the text gets more legalese, but again, it's all completely user definable by you guys. But this automates those collection letters. I think it's a fantastic capability. It's just one simple process. I run the Dunning Wizard. I choose to email everything off to my customers, and there go my collection letters. All right, so that's out of the box. Whether you're on SQL or HANA, you have that capability. Now let's look at a different one. Let's look at how adding a user-defined field, just adding one field might make your life a little bit easier. To do that, let's do that at the business partner. We're going to jump into a customer of mine called Earthshaker. Let's bring them up. Now, to keep the flow moving, I've already added this field and I've placed it on my form right here. And I've called it collection status. Now, to add that field, it's very simple. We go into tools, we go into customization tools, into user-defined fields management. The business partner is considered master data. So we open up master data. In here, you have several areas within the business partner. The business partner header, if you will, their addresses, card groups, properties, and then the contacts, and then even on the terms tab. So what we're going to do is we added that user-defined field here. And let's just take a quick look at it. Here it is here, collection status. I'll bring that up, but it's a real simple UDF. I allow 30 characters for the length. And then here's a list of my different collection statuses. And of course, I could add a new collection status just like that. And we'll call this refuse to pay. And we'll go ahead and use the value also as the description. And select update. There we go. And so what we've done now is I've shown you not only where you can add that user-defined field, but where you can also add additional statuses. And I think that's important because we're going to add this into the reporting aspects of the system. And you want your reports to be uniform. You want to be able to search for a certain status, right? And I'll show you what I mean here. Now that we've added this status, there's our drop down, including the new option we just added a second ago. Now it's available to any standard report in the system that uses the customer master here, the business partner, and supports UDFs. There's a lot of reports that do that, but also your custom queries. And so I'm going to open up my memorized reports. I'm going to open up collections. And in here is my customer balance and collection status. Let's run that report. And here you can see there's that new user-defined field. So I'm looking at this query that's simply leveraging this new field in a descending account balance order. So those that owe me the most, I'm able to see where am I at with that customer from a collection status. So that's an example of how you could add a user-defined field. And of what I did is I put this user-defined field on my main form using the B1 usability package. If you don't have the B1 usability package, you might ask us for it, but the other option here is that field will also show up down here off to the right. So you don't need the B1 usability package, but if you do have the B1 usability package, you're able to take any one of these fields and then add them onto the main window with just a click. So it becomes really easy. All right, that's adding a UDF to help collections. Now let's look at collection dashboards and calendars. So the first thing here is let's jump into sales. Actually, yeah, it's in sales. And here I've added a collections workbench. So let's open that up. Now, in this collections workbench, this is really just a query. And this query shows me the customer. It shows the invoice dates. We'll just bring that up here. And I can see who's the sales rep. What did we ship them? Now, this is actually not what I was looking for. That's a neat report. Everybody got to show you that report. But what I'm looking for here is here we go, collections dashboard. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so this dashboard was built using the B1 usability package. And the B1 usability package provides the ability to create your own custom dashboards with those same queries you just saw me run here that showed our new field. You can take those queries to the next level here with the B1 usability package. And so here I'm looking at my AR aging. This is my current AR aging up to the second. Off to the right, these are all of my customer details. So for each one of my customers, I'm able to see what their credit limit is, and then what's their order balance, their check balance, what's their uninvoiced delivery balance, who's the main contact, and what's their phone number. And remember that new user-defined field. What's their collection status here? This one here, I can see we're waiting for a reply. So again, this will show you all of those details in a dashboard format. Now, down below, I have some graphs. So for a lot of folks, you're a very visual person. So let's go ahead and let's open one of these up. Let's expand this one a little bit. This is showing me my customer collection status. And so based on that new user-defined field we added, I'm using that to generate this chart. And I can see all my customers, all 69 of my customers that are in a good standing. I can see that I've got 1 in discrepancy. I've got 4 where the letter's been sent. Now, if I click, I can see that those 4 customers are made up of these 3 customer groups. One's a cultivar, a nursery cultivar. One sells equipment, and the other one's in the retail space. There are 2. I can click and see, well, what are the 2 retail customers? Oh, Jerry's Medical and Pets Plus. They're the ones that I've got this letter sent out to. So again, you can work both digitally here and then graphically below. And of course, this one too shows by collector, which one has the most collection activities, and then the ability to click and drill down and see who they're working with. So this is my first tab in collections. Now, I also have another tab here that shows me activity details. So in here, I'm seeing more details. I could say, well, just show me what are my collectors collection activities today, last 7 days, this month, this year. And of course, I can create my own date range here. I can also say, you know what, only show me open activities. And then the certain type of activities, show me open activities that are collection related. And again, I could narrow down and zero down on just those activities that I'm focused on. Now, we keep talking about activities. And what an activity is, it's a standard form in Business One. Now, because I'm a lazy typist, what I've done is I've gone out and I've set up the activity form to be tied to my F2 key. So when I'm in SAP doing something, let's say that, let me minimize my dashboard for a moment. I might be maybe I'm making a journal entry or something. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. When I hit my F2 key, it instantly brings me up into the activity form. That's the beauty of those shortcuts. So if I'm talking to a client real quickly, I can capture this phone call and I could say, okay, this phone call is collections related. It's due about a past due bill. I can put the details in. I can even link this activity to that AR invoice. And so again, by simply using some of the standard forms and capabilities in Business One, you can have an impact on collections. So that's a look at the dashboards. Um, we've done separate demonstrations on just the dashboards. We've got those on the Vision 33 website. So if you want to see more about dashboards in the Voyam package, please contact us. We'd love to spend some time talking to you about it and showing you more. All right, now the next thing let's look at that really help enhance the whole collection process is let's look at Saltbox. And so let's log into Saltbox. Here's Saltbox. And Saltbox is our integration platform as a service. It's something you can subscribe to, whether you're running on premise or in the cloud, it doesn't matter. You can subscribe to Saltbox. Saltbox really gives us the ability to integrate anything to everything. But in the essence of the automation pack, we're not actually integrating anything to Business One. We're simply automating repetitive manual processes in Business One. So our customers, you can subscribe to the automation pack, and then you simply activate the automations you want. The ones you don't want, leave inactive. And to give you an example of how some of these could be used in and around collections, this first one here, automatically create the AR invoice from the delivery. So anytime this workflow runs, it'll take anything that I've shipped, delivered, but I haven't invoiced yet, and it can automatically create those invoices. Not only that, I can add to this workflow and tell it after you create the invoice, get the accounting contact email and automatically email that AR invoice to the accounting department. And it can fully automate those tasks that you might be doing manually today and that are very repetitive. Another one here, anytime a customer exceeds their credit balance, this one can automatically put the credit customer on hold and send a collection letter. So again, you can use these automations in all kinds of different ways to deal with your customers, and especially those that might be tardy on their payments. Finally, the last thing I want to touch on here as far as enhancing collections is the partner portal. So one of the cool things about SAP And let me bring this up here real quick to kind of close the loop. But in an AR invoice, one of the neat features, and this is fairly new, SAP has just added this back at, I believe, 9.3. Here it is. It's the ability to generate a QR code on your form. So what we have is we have customers of ours, Vision 33 customers, um, using the automation pack. And when the invoices are created, in the QR code is a link to the SXP partner portal. So when the customer scans that link on their mobile device or their tablet, it takes them right here. And when that customer then logs into the partner portal, they can kind of, close the loop and pay online. And so now as the customer, I'm going to go ahead and select these two invoices. And now I can pay by credit card and get the miles, or I can make an ACH payment. So again, we want to make it easy for you to get paid quickly, on time, improve your DSO. And we think that all of these things together can really make a difference in improving your collection process. So thank you for watching. If you'd like more details on any of these things you saw today in improving and streamlining collections, please visit us at vision33.com.